rules. Start early.
Your show, your rules. We're here 15 minutes sooner than we were supposed to.
Exactly. But it doesn't matter because I wanted to go out. I wanted to do this last night, but I wasn't really feeling too well last night. So I said, all right, it was breaking news yesterday, but let's, as Giants fans, we got to talk about it. Obviously, the news did not come on while we were doing Monday Morning Quarterback. The Gettleman retirement didn't come on until after we got off as well. So we didn't even get to cover that, although we knew it was happening.
Yeah, we knew it was. I mean, we knew that was going to happen no matter what. But
yeah,
yesterday, I mean, I wasn't shocked at all by this. I mean,
no, we talked about it on the show on Monday. We talked about how his own team just didn't want him anymore. He lost the respect of his players, not just and the fans. And then on top of that, I think one of the main reasons, and a lot of people were talking about it, whether it was on, I watched like 4 different shows over the last 24 hours. First Take this morning, Good Morning Football. I watched a couple of clips of Get Up with Rex Ryan talking, and Rex Ryan just ripped the shit out of Joe Judge. And even Aaron Rodgers poked fun.
I was about to say, could somebody in the front office might have heard that Pat McAfee interview and went to John Mara and went,
yeah,
you got to do something now because potentially somebody that you might want to get after this season. And I'm not saying we're going to get Aaron Rodgers, but I'm saying we got nice draft picks over there that could entice a trade with Green Bay. Why would somebody like Aaron Rodgers want to come? Even Russell Wilson, who would want to come to this team?
See, you're thinking
fucking coach on the sideline.
You're also thinking about as far as personnel, not personnel, but players go. What about the fact that you even started spitting off names, and I don't want you to go over them, but you named at least 8 names that they talked about or had conversations with as far as the GM goes. What GM wants to come to a shit show like this? Exactly. And I think that was a main factor. How attractive is this job with the head coach? How attractive is it to a GM, a potential GM?
How are you going to hire a GM and keep the same fucking head coach?
No. Well, no. See, that was the thing.
You can't do it that way.
No, well, that's the thing. The thought process was, and it started to leak out, when they knew Gettleman was retiring. Joe Judge went to Mara and I think Tish, I don't know if it was both of them, but at least went to the owner and said, hey, I would like to have a little say or in the hiring process of the GM. Then it came out the day after that. Apparently they were going to, They were going to hire GM, have the conversation and let the GM decide whether he wants to fire Joe Judge or not.
It's too much of a long process.
I know that.
If you fire the GM and then say, well, okay, we're going to bring in, let's just say, for example, Louis Riddick comes in.
Yeah.
And I've been mentioning Louis Riddick's name a ton because a lot of people want Louis Riddick.
Bro, you were wearing Louis Riddick. You were wearing Louis Riddick underwear the other day. You told me.
Yeah, I did. No, but I'm saying though, if I'm Louis Riddick and I'm being offered this job, why do I need to talk to Joe Judge if I know in the back of my mind this guy's got to go anyway?
Exactly.
Unless, and now I know that Mara's definitely going to go out of house and get somebody from somewhere else. That Abrams is not going to be the GM of this team.
If he's listening,
if Abrams was going to be named the GM, Joe Judge would still have a job.
If Mara and Tish or whoever's calling the shots more, I think it's Mara. If Mara is listening to the fans and listening to the other sports personalities, whether it's McAfee or just the other broadcasts like ESPN and whatever, all the shows, if he's actually truly listening, which I believe he is, because I think that's why Judge was fired, he's not going to go in-house. No, he's got to go out of house. You got to go outside. You got to go outside the organization.
Yeah, you got to go outside the box on this one. When you got Craig Carton and Evan Roberts, 2 Jet fans, saying that your franchise is more of a joke than our franchise.
I know. And they're saying
that's a bad fucking thing to say.
But the thing is, and what's funny, it's not just Jets personalities or or coming from the Jets side. Let's put that on the side. But it is embarrassing though, because what's embarrassing is you have these Rex Ryan, for example. Rex Ryan was obviously the head coach of the Jets at one point. He said that this team is too storied of a franchise to be treated this way. whether it's from the ownership, front office, or the head coach. It's embarrassing. The Giants aren't a franchise that should be in this position. And the fact that Carton and Roberts were saying that, they weren't saying it in a way where it's like, ah, ha, 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 they're worse than the Jets or whatever, which is true in the last 5 seasons. But, and I think, I listen to Jim. He's on the radar of several teams. Several teams have already reached out to him.
All right. Last time I'm saying this, the enemy, not the enemy. There's a V in that name. That's
I see. I also thought and we said this the other day. That's right. I forgot about that. I also thought for years it was Bieniemy.
I thought it was too, but then I actually saw his name on.
Where is
Chiron? And then I said, "Oh,
are you sure?" Because I saw it on the ticker, the ESPN ticker. I thought it said Bieniemy as well with the B.
I believe it.
I don't think it's with a V, Mike.
No, it is with a V. I believe
it's with Eric Bieniemy.
Give me a moment. I will correct. If I am wrong, I will apologize and correct myself.
No, you're wrong. It's Bieniemy. He's right.
Give me a minute.
You don't have to have a minute. I just looked it up. It's Eric Bieniemy with the B.
Are you sure?
Yes, 100% sure. Yeah, if you Google him, a B comes up. It's Eric Bieniemy.
All right, maybe I'm all right. So if I'm wrong, I will say I will apologize if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, because you were saying Bieniemy for years, for at least the last 2 years, because we were doing the show. We started last year. So the last 2 years, last year and this year, we were both saying Bieniemy. And then for some reason, you thought it was with the V. So wherever you saw it, either on a scroll, like a ticker scroll or something like that, or whatever it was, it had to have been a typo.
Who the hell was the coaching staff?
You don't need to go that far. Just Google Eric Bieniemy. That's what I did.
You know, I'm looking like literally at the Kansas City Chiefs website. All right, whatever. All right, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay, I'm not gonna.
You see it?
I'm Googling it now.
Right here, American coach Eric Bieniemy.
Okay, yeah, even Wikipedia has been. Okay, I apologize. Yeah.
It's all right.
Okay,
it's all right. B or V? How could you not back up the bank truck for him? It's true. And Mike, you've been saying this since last year, that you think he needs to get the head coaching job, and you even speculated maybe Andy Reid's about to step down, or maybe that's his ultimate goal.
That's the only reason why I think that Eric Bieniemy is not going to take any other coaching job, because I think the Hunt family promised him this job once Andy Reid retires.
Yeah, but when is that going to happen? The guy probably wants a shot. I understand he wants to have that relationship that he has with Mahomes still, but I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But getting back to getting back to the firing.
Yeah.
Now, 5-6 weeks ago, probably wouldn't have been fired, but then all of a sudden this, and I'm gonna call, basically he's a fuck. I mean, calling him an idiot's being too kind. He's a fucking asshole.
Let me ask you this though, because I know what you're going to say, but let me ask you this: how much of that do you think, especially not only the last game of the season, the press conferences and all like that? We were talking about how dumb he is, but how dumb can you be? Do you think he was doing that because he wanted to get fired, because he knew he was losing the team? He knew he was losing the players.
I just think he's a fucking moron. I think he just is an idiot.
I don't know, man.
I told you when he was in Tucson and they were supposed to, and I told you they did that because of a short trip over to LA.
Yeah.
When he's over there doing the midweek press conference on a Wednesday, and he's saying everybody's getting along nicely and nobody's cutting line during the buffet service, and they're sharing copy machines. First off, who the fuck uses a Xerox machine nowadays?
I do.
Okay. Who? Oh, they're using copying machines and they're being nice to one. What the fuck are you talking about? Then he goes on a little bit of diatribe in Chicago, calling the Washington Redskins. I'll still call them the Redskins until the name Admirals is being used.
Oh, do you think that's the name is going to be used?
Boomer confirmed it. Boomer knows what's going on.
All right, I didn't know because I know the release. I know they're doing it the week before the Super Bowl. They're going to announce.
Yeah, the second. Yeah, the 2nd of February, and Boomer already confirmed that. Boomer's confirming that it is, and Boomer knows a lot of
the
shit
Washington
going on.
Admirals. All right, that sounds okay.
Yeah, it sounds all right.
Okay, it's better than a Washington football team. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then he's calling the Redskins a clown show because they were fight. What the fuck do you got going on over there?
Yeah. And that's exactly what everybody was talking about. The press conferences, the fact that he was ranting and babbling on about nothing, nothing that even made sense.
You're blaming Pat Shermer for what? This is your team, you fucking jerk off.
But here's the problem. We already know that this season was abysmal. He's the first coach in Giants history to lose 6 straight games by double points. So
that's another thing.
He accomplished that.
That's another thing I think that did it too. I mean, look, I know you didn't have Daniel Jones, but for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, I don't care if turtleneck is out there or not.
Turkey neck.
Well, whatever, turtleneck over there, throwing a fucking football. And then I mean, Aaron Rodgers even said it. And he said it best. And I actually heard it about an hour ago because I actually listened to what he said. And he said, but the best part he said when he goes, let's do a victory formation on the negative 5-yard line. Hey, Matt, call that in. It's like telling LaFleur, yeah, let's do that one.
And what's going through the players' minds? What's going through, you know what I'm saying? I know you have your third string quarterback at the center, right? But what's going through your players' minds? Like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think at one point he knew he lost the locker room, right? The guys didn't respect him anymore. I think some of those play calls were done intentionally because he was just like, please fire me, get me out of here. Because he had a 5-year contract.
You know, the Giants right now are now going to be paying 3 former head coaches. McAdoo is still getting paid. Sherman's still getting paid.
Yeah.
And now fucking Judge, if he doesn't, well, he's not going to get another head coaching job.
That's why I think the Giants were at one point saying, do we need to let him go? Obviously on paper and obviously on the field, yes. But I think at one point they did
money-wise, you know, like, okay, I can see money-wise. All right, we'll be paying 3.
Not just money-wise, but how it looks. Coaches. Just how it looks as an organization. 3 different coaches in the last few years. That's it. And that was the other thing too. Look, we all know Judge was 10-23 in his 2 seasons with the Giants. He won 10 games and lost 23 games. But the Giants itself in the last 5 seasons, which predates Judge, is 22-59. That's the worst, dude, in NFL.
I'll do even better. You know how many losses we had since Eli held up the Lombardi Trophy 2011?
It's got to be over 100 because I clocked 80 something, and that was going back to 2015.
It is. We've lost over 100 games.
Yep.
In 10 years since we had the Lombardi Trophy.
And what do we make the playoffs once?
Once, and because some idiot wanted to go to South Beach.
Yeah. They were 11-5.
I don't care what anybody says about Odell now. Odell was our cancer in our locker room, and he literally cost us that playoff game.
I agree with that. We'll go back to the 2016-17 season. They were 11-5. They lost the first game of the playoffs to the Packers. I mean, they were playing the Packers, but at the same time, it's like they got rid of him, and nothing good came of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it. I'm just ignoring. I don't even want to acknowledge it. Nothing good came after he came and went, you know? So, you know, was Beckham, and I don't want to, whatever, was Odell a head case? Yes, but that's long gone because the team didn't get better or get worse. Well, actually, I get that technically they got worse. So they didn't get better from parting ways with him. They only got worse. And that was the problem with Judge. I mean, all right. There are a lot of injuries. Yes, his not star quarterback, because I don't think Jones is a star.
He in a star period.
His starting quarterback went down in injuries. I know a lot of things happened during this season, and I would love to be, for both of us, to be able to sit here and say, you know what, Judge had 2 full seasons, right, with all his starters in play, and we can evaluate him the true way, just like I would love to be able to evaluate Daniel Jones in a true way.
Yeah.
But the matter is, the team is going in reverse. The team isn't getting better; they're getting worse. So I'm glad, and this is a great day to be a Giants fan. Look, I spent almost nearly $80 after tax or whatever on this in the course of in the middle of this season, and I was like, even when they were in a losing way, I said, you know what? I want to support my team. I want to get I haven't gotten a new Giants hoodie in a while.
Right.
And I've been buying other teams. I fucking bought a Bears hoodie last year. I was like, let me get this. This is the second time I'm wearing it all year.
When was the last time you saw me wear this hat? I haven't worn this hat in forever. I've been wearing my AEW hat, my Mets hat, my fucking Kansas City Chiefs
and it's not
hat.
because we're not Giants fans, but
I can't. I haven't even listened to the last 3 games of the year.
I
was watching more on TV than I was listening to FAN.
Yeah. No, I haven't watched a single down. I haven't watched a single down. There's no point.
Look, I'm sitting there yesterday and I'm listening to Carlton and Roberts and I'm listening to Boomer and Gio. Then I go turn on. God, I miss Moose and Maggie so much. I gotta listen to Tiki Barber. And Tiki Barber reminds me, if Creon was here, he knows what I'm gonna say. Tiki Barber is like a WWE apologist because Tiki Barber is a John Mara ass kissing apologist.
Okay.
Because
I thought I lost you there.
No, I was thinking of the word. And when you look at Tiki Barber and his comments about, oh, well, the Giants are a great team and oh, everybody's putting them down and John Mara's a great guy and we understand. He made your fucking career. Your brother's getting in the Hall of Fame before you. Don't worry about that. Everything's cool. But if it wasn't for Eli and John Mara, you would be nobody. We understand that. You're a kiss ass. We got that. And your show sucks. Bring back
I think Tiki was a good running back for us. I wouldn't say he was a nobody.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, he goes on there and he's like literally ass kissing John Mara.
I understand that. I listened to Tiki and Tierney or whatever it is that the show's called. I listened to it the other day and I heard exactly what you're saying. When he was asked about John Mara, he came out and he was basically saying, this isn't Mara's fault. A lot of people are bashing him. But at the end of the day, you're the owner of the team. It is your fault. You're the one that hired Gettleman. You're the one that sat back and did nothing.
When your fan base is making your home games road games, you're doing something wrong.
Yep.
I mean, because normally to me, I go by the first 4 games of the season. That's how I know everything's going to turn up. If 3-1, 2-2, okay. But when you're going 1-3,
0-4, didn't they go 0-4 or 0-5?
I think, yeah, something like that
last year.
But even if you're 1-3, you got a pretty good idea where the season's fucking going.
What was it last year? The year before they lost their first 5.
The 3-4 Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes in last place.
Yeah, no,
this
you're
is
right.
The fucking Danny dipshit New York Giants.
Yeah. Which, by the way, has 1 more year left. If he plays, but he's got 1 more year left. So that's something they have to address.
And you know what? I listened to SNY yesterday on a YouTube channel. I forgot the guy's name that was hosting it, but he had somebody on with him. And he mentioned a name. And he said, you want to get a stopgap quarterback. He said, even better, get somebody that will challenge Daniel Jones.
Just not Marcus Mariota.
Well, Mariota was brought up too, but
I know that. But
somebody to challenge Daniel Jones. Put a fire under this kid's fucking ass. Because if he goes into preseason and you're going to see strip sack, fumble, interceptions as normal, get Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why they didn't do that to begin with.
Fitzpatrick will be perfect. He'll be a good stopgap because we know this kid's going to go down again next year for some stupid reason, either the leg, the neck.
Why did they get? Why did they even get Glennon? That's what I want to know.
I don't know why they got Glennon because I literally thought you know why they probably literally thought that Daniel Jones was going to wake up this year.
Yeah,
and
but you always need
it. It's the 3rd year. It's the sweet spot.
It's
is
not
this
about
or
waking
that.
up, though. It's not about improving your skill because we've seen what Daniel Jones can do. He's not a bad quarterback, but
Right.
it's the fact that he gets hurt. So why wouldn't you get a comparable quarterback in just in
I would
case?
say no, but I'm saying if you get Ryan Fitzpatrick,
Yeah,
he's accomplished.
I'm
He
not
knows how to
refuting that.
fucking. He knows how to. He's a fucking gunslinger. He
Yeah.
knows how to navigate that field perfectly.
Hmm.
And if he does any better than Daniel Jones in preseason, whoever this coach is going to be is going to put Daniel Jones on the sideline.
Yeah. But my question is, what do you do now? Because we know that the draft class, this upcoming draft, is not as lucrative as last year's draft was. Now,
You draft offensive linemen.
you have
The
to. No,
first
no,
two
I'm not
picks should
saying
be
that.
offensive
No.
linemen.
You don't go quarterback in this
You're not going to
unless
go quarterback.
No. I'm not saying that. I think you got to address offensive line first and foremost. Get another edge rusher at one point as well. I'm not saying you have to use one of your first round picks for that, but at one point in the draft, you got to also acknowledge your the fact that you don't really have an edge rusher. We need a pass rushing defense.
I'm just wondering. Do you think somebody like a Kenny Galladay might have walked into John Mara's office, or when John Mara spoke to the team prior to firing Judge? You think Kenny Galladay might have said, "You know what? If you keep this guy here, trade me or release me"?
I'm sure it wasn't just Galladay. I'm sure that's what my point is. It's not.
The only two I could think of off the top of my head that will have nothing bad to say about Judge being a wide receiver or a tight end would be Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram, because that's who Daniel Jones only threw to.
Well, yeah, the fact that we went out and got Galladay, we paid the amount of money we did for him, right? And he got 0 touchdowns. Says a lot. He was also hurt, though. I mean, most of these wide receivers, most of the core of the offense was hurt almost all season.
Who do we say had more touchdowns than him?
The offensive lineman.
Yeah, well, what the fuck was his name?
I can't remember his name. You said it last time, but it doesn't matter. Look, I just wanted to come on here really quick because you've been talking about getting rid of Judge probably since the half of the season, I would say. I was in line with Jawan, where it was like, all right, maybe we give him one more year because it's hard to evaluate him. It's hard to evaluate Judge. But over the last 4 games, I would say, I'm pretty sure it's the last 4, maybe 5.
6.
I started to come with you. I know that sounded weird. I started to go on your side, and I started to see it your way.
Don't ever say me and you and coming at the same time ever again.
That's why I wanted to change that. But I started to see it your way, and not just you, the fans, the players now, and I think that's what lit a fire under Mara's ass to go ahead and, you know what, we're not going to wait.
Season ticket holders are selling tickets to the opposing teams.
Yeah,
fans.
Yeah,
you got a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And you know my theory on that. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I think whoever, and me personally, if I'm ownership and I want to know who those ticket sellers are, and I want to take them off my list and give somebody else worthy of those tickets. Because if you're going to sell tickets to my stadium to the opposing team and making it more of a road game than a home game, then you shouldn't be a fucking Giants fan.
Well, how do you know? Hold on. If I'm a season ticket holder, right? Let's say I have a ticket and I want to sell it. So would you go the route of what? StubHub or something like that?
You could probably do it on StubHub.
Right. My point is, though, how do you know?
Out there now.
But how do you know? Unless the guys...
you can see where the section in the seat is. You know, section 15, row 2, seat
No, but I'm
5.
saying, as a season ticket holder.
Okay, Mr. John Doe, you like selling your season tickets and selling them to your friends who are Dallas Cowboy fans.
No.
Guess what? Next year you're not going to have these tickets, and we're going to give these season tickets, all 4 of them, to Mr. Joseph Mastretta.
You're missing my point. No, I'm not saying that the people, all they have to do is look at the section and look at who owns those seats. I'm talking about as a season ticket holder. If you're selling your tickets, unless the guy who's buying its icon or profile picture is the opposing team, how do you know you're selling it to an opposing team?
Normally the opposing teams fan will be wearing a jersey or a shirt or a jacket representing their fan
How do
base.
you see that on StubHub is what I'm saying. You don't see that on StubHub. How do you know who you're selling it to? You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's
I get what you're saying.
yeah, I don't know if it's as simple as that,
There's
but I
gotta be a
agree.
way to figure it out, though. I mean, but seriously, I don't like when people do that. I don't want to see my fan base selling tickets to making my home game become a road game. With
Yeah.
it just sickens me. It does. It literally bothers me. I understand that the team sucks. I understand.
Oh, forget season ticket holders. They already have they already have the tickets. What about guys like you and me that want to go to the games that aren't going to go because they don't want because of what's on the field?
I mean, honestly,
tickets are already.
I don't even want to. I mean, I told you I didn't listen to the last. As a fan, I didn't even listen to the last 3 games.
Tickets
I was
are
there
already
Arizona Cardinal games.
The other thing is tickets are already expensive as fuck. And football tickets are probably one of the most expensive sporting event that I wanted to go to that I haven't gone because they're so expensive. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get upper deck. If you
go to Fan Appreciation Day, you get yourself a free Coke on Jamera.
You go to a baseball. You go try to go like if I go to City Field website, or if I go to whatever any other sporting event ticket sales, right?
Right.
I go to buy a Met tickets. Obviously, field level is going to be, maybe or close to $100. Depending on the game. You can get a $15 seat upper deck. That's not how it is in the NFL.
Nope.
It's not. Crayon Dude's here. I knew you were going to have this discussion the moment I saw the breaking news. Of course. And as I was saying earlier, Crayon Dude, because we were wondering if you were going to show up.
Prior to going on air.
I would have went last night, but I've been having sinus issues. So I felt out of it last night. So I would have went on last night. But yeah, we were definitely going to. There was no way we weren't going to cover
there was no way. I mean, you texted me and you texted me 3:30 my time. We left at 3:30.
Yeah.
I didn't get the text after 5:30 because I told you I was relaxing.
Yeah.
But I texted you right back. I said, All Out Blitz.
Yeah.
I was ready to go. I would have fired up the laptop and came right on.
I know. Yeah, like I said, had I not felt under the weather last night, I still do, but I feel a little bit better today. Because I laid in bed pretty much all day yesterday. For the most part. All right. Really quick though, because you mentioned the Jets, you mentioned Carton Roberts, and we were talking about ticket sales or whatever. The reverse side of this obviously has nothing to do with Joe Judge, but I just think this is insane. And they also agree because as Jets fans as well, you have a team that hasn't made the playoffs in how many years? The Jets, right?
They were in the playoffs is when they were in the AFC Championship game.
Right. They haven't had a home playoff
Super Bowl in 50 years.
Haven't had a home playoff game since 2002. 2002 home playoff game. How do you, as a non-playoff contending team, how do you raise ticket prices?
I have no idea.
How do you raise ticket prices? That's what Evan and Roberts were talking about. Like, how do you I can understand
because you're giving out big fucking ass contracts.
Jets since 2010, yeah. It's unbelievable. Imagine the Giants on top of all this fucking on top of all this shit. They're like, oh, and by the way, we're gonna raise ticket prices too. Still not going. Still not going anyway. But the point is, put a winning product on the field. All right, same thing with the Mets. The same exact thing with the Mets. I stopped going to Met games because they just didn't care anymore. I went to the most Met games, I think, in my entire adult life in 2015. Why is that? And this was way before they started making the playoff push. I'm talking about like in the summer because it was an exciting team to watch. It was a winning team. And this was before they got Cespedes, before they pushed and made it to the World Series. I went to my first playoff game ever. It was that year. It was a winning atmosphere. It makes fans want to go to the stadiums to cheer for your team and buy your fucking merchandise. I bought like 15 hats that year and 3 different fucking jerseys. I haven't bought a single thing since because I'm not going to give money to an organization that just doesn't care. Now, I'm not saying that ever since they got Steve Cohen, I'm not saying they haven't changed their culture and changed their ways. Yes. I get it. And I went to a game last year. There was different circumstances with the pandemic or whatever. So, and I did go to a game last year. But going back to the Giants, this is what we want as fans. We want that storied franchise that we were, I guess, spoiled with as Giants fans.
Right. We want the 80, we want the 86 Phil Sims magic. We want the
Eli Manning magic.
The Eli Manning magic. I don't care how.
But that defense too.
How many times everybody says it? Eli Manning will be in the Hall of Fame because of those 2 Super Bowls. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
I don't care what his record was or what he did. But missing
Crayon dude, the Mariners haven't been to the postseason since 2001. I mean, yeah. It's crazy. And
I'm saying though, as a fan base though, we
have the most wins that year too.
I don't know. I mean, they keep talking, oh, whoa, we could give Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson ain't going to come to this team now next year.
Yeah, wow.
He's leaving a situation that if he comes here, he's going to be in the same situation.
I told you already about that, though. I no offense to Russell Wilson. I mean, if it was like a free agency pickup, I'd be like, yeah, sure, of course. But do you really, really want to give first round picks up for Wilson in this state, the state of this team? No. So it's not only about Russell Wilson wanting to come here,
You want to keep this idiot for one more year? Fine. Keep him for one more year. Get Ryan Fitzpatrick, put a fire in this kid's fucking belly, and say, you know what? Look, see this guy over here? This guy could take your fucking job.
Well, you got to do it for 2 reasons now. Now you have to do it for 2 reasons because it's not just an evaluation. It's not just about evaluation anymore with Daniel Jones. It's not just about, okay, what is he going to do for us on the field, right? It's more of a question now, is he going to be on the field?
But here's the thing, and that's what I was just about to say, is I don't want to predict how many wins this kid's going to get. I'm going to predict what week he's actually going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks.
No, I agree, Crayon dude. There's no way we want, as Giants fans. I mean, I don't know if we speak for all Giants fans, but I know everybody was salivating when they heard Russell Wilson's might be available. A few weeks ago we would talk about it on the show. But do you really want?
No, but does he really want to? It's not even like, do we want him? When he's watching this shit show, and he's like, okay, well, maybe I'll go to New York. Well, and then he's looking at.
We don't know what the
offensive line, no fucking receivers.
The offensive line is a big deal for any quarterback.
Seattle because Pete Carroll won't give him the help he needs.
Right.
To go to another team that won't give him the help he needs.
And look at the targets he has in Seattle with Metcalf and Lockett and that team. There's no reason why, if they just fix the line, the team is fine. Russell Wilson would be taking a step back coming on this organization.
But
however,
is, if we fix the line, is it going to fix it?
But that's the thing. We can't.
I don't think it is. And I'll say right now, I say by week 5 or 6, if Daniel Jones is a starter, by week 5 or 6, this kid's going to be out 2 to 4 weeks with some stupid fucking injury. And another thing, get rid of Saquon, trade Saquon.
I don't know what they would get for Saquon.
I mean, seriously, just give it.
Listen. Hold on, because I'm with you on this. Hold on. I don't know what they would get for Barkley, but if they can get a pick in one of the draft rounds or even something of value, why not?
Yeah,
why not?
I'll do this. Here's a good trade. Trade him to Green Bay.
Yeah, the O-line in Seattle is horrible.
Give us AJ Dillon, and we'll give you a 2nd and 3rd round pick with Saquon.
You know what's funny though, dude? I guarantee you, Barkley goes to a team like the Packers or another team, he'll have a monster year.
No, but you know why? He won't be the starting running back. He could be the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 guy.
Yeah,
to back up Aaron Jones. That's why.
Yeah,
give me AJ Dillon. Give me a ground and pound fucking running back, not this kid.
Well, that's what we used to do.
Such a big deal. I mean.
That's what we used to have. That's what Giants football used to be. Either 2 or even a 3-headed monster in the backfield, ground and pound, and get the yardage. Whether it was thunder and lightning,
Earth, Wind,
In
and Fire.
yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire. But look,
What was that? That was Jacobs. Wait. That was Brandon Jacobs,
Ron Dane, and Ward.
David. The
It was
one that
Ward.
fell in the
It was Ward.
end zone.
Ward. I've been saying
Ward.
it. Ward.
Okay, David. That's what we had. That's what we need. We need like a. When I look at AJ Dillon and the way he runs, his rushing style, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I mean, not this ticky. And look, maybe he's afraid he's playing.
But I told you this though too.
I think most of the time he was playing scared because he's afraid he's going to. And he did get injured again after the injury.
I think it was two factors that we talked about several weeks. Not only the fact that he's scared to get re-injured, right? But the last time actually was the last game. I think, was it the last game or the game before? He had over 100 yards.
Game before.
The second to last game of the season, he had over 100 yards. That was the first time all year he went over 100, because he was usually around anywhere between 40 and 50 something yards a game when he did play. But I don't think it wasn't
and he
just
still lost
him.
that game by 4, and he still lost that game by over 10 points.
Yeah. So yes, I think he was afraid to get re-injured and afraid to cut in certain ways. But the other thing is too, the offensive line doesn't just help the quarterback; it also creates holes for the running back. So if you don't have an offensive line like the Dallas Cowboys, which Zeke has like no excuse for having falling off the way he has, with Zeke Elliott. When you have an offensive line that big that can create holes for your running back.
But wasn't Zeke playing hurt a lot this year though?
Yeah, it's possible. Every NFL team has a hurt player. Every NFL player plays hurt. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, Zeke might be battling an injury. I'm not saying that. But my point is, you give this team an offensive line that it should have had for the last several seasons. It protects your quarterback. It creates a running game. It makes your offense more, 2 or maybe even 3-dimensional. If you just, it's so predictable as a Giants fan watching the game, right? Because what do they normally do? They'll either throw a short pass or whatever. They'll have it'll be like a 2nd and long or whatever. What do they do when 2nd and long? They do like this fucking draw play, or even sometimes 3rd and long. I'll see the quarterback in a shotgun formation with the halfback to his right or halfback to his left, and I fucking call it, and it's almost all the time. Like, they're going to do a fucking quarterback draw. And it's the same. It was also, too, the play calling. You want to blame Garrett. You want to blame Judge. Whoever was calling the plays at one point. It's been a combination of so many things over the last few years. Bad general managing, bad draft picks, bad draft usage, not bad picks. They obviously had some good picks over the last few years.
Yeah, Saquon and Jones were bad draft picks.
Just shitting the bed in the draft year after year after year. Getting players that you didn't need, getting players that didn't give any value to this team. I don't care how high on Saquon Barkley they were. I mean, it was a bust at this point.
I mean, Devin Booker looks better than Saquon on the field.
He does. That's the problem. When you got a guy like Booker that's getting you more yardage than Barkley does, there's a problem.
And then we had Devontae Freeman, and then he looks like he's fucking untouchable in Baltimore after times, and he was over here. That's what I'm saying. I don't know
because it has to do with the line. How does Booker get there? But Booker also does. I mean, Booker's not really running for over 100 yards either. For us, 50, anything over 45 yards is an accomplishment on the ground.
Yeah.
But that's the point. We got a guy like Freeman last year, right? Because the Barkley went out for the whole year. So we signed a guy like Freeman that was with the Falcons for I think most of his career, right? We get him, and what happens? He's a bust, but that's because the offensive line has been shit.
Yep.
All right. I do want to end the stream. I don't want to go too long. I know you're going to have a delivery in a few minutes, so I don't want to get interrupted. I do want to thank Listener Jim and Crayon Dude for coming in and talking with us. This stream was mostly about, obviously, not only Joe Judge getting fired, but just as fans, just to congratulate John Mara on finally doing something right and making the right decision. I'm glad Gettleman's gone. I'm glad Judge is gone. But here on out now, is the big test. Because as fans, what do we want? We want to get Gettleman gone. We want a Judge gone.
I know you said you didn't want to say it, but you know what? Instead of waiting for Tuesday, it's a giant. It's an all giant stream right now. What's the biggest prize for us right now? Looking at GM head coaches, who do you want right now? This moment.
First of all, as far as availability goes, the only people that I know off the top of my head are the guys that literally just lost their jobs in other organizations, right? So my knowledge in the names of head coaching and the names of especially GMs is little to none. So I might be able to spit out some head coaching names. GMs, I'm at a loss. I don't know anybody as far as the GMs go. So I really wouldn't even be able to tell you. What I do know is what they do need, especially as far. Let's go to the GM side really quick. I don't want a hotshot new kid that's never had any experience. We got to get somebody, just like I wanted a Met coach to have that veteran approach. We need a veteran GM. We need a GM with experience that knows what he's doing. You also need guys.
All I gotta say is call up ESPN, find out how much it is to pay out Louis Riddick's contract with the network.
All right, I know you're an advocate for Riddick, so if that's the case, I'll go with you because you have a little bit more knowledge on that. As far as head coaches go, you know, a lot of them came from obviously bad teams. Matt Nagy, first year as a Bears coach, I think they went like 12-4. They lost a heartbreaker with that fucking kicker. What was his? Oh, what the fuck was his name? Was it not Posey? What was it? What was the kicker's name that missed the field goal?
I don't know.
Polian?
Bill Polian.
That's the former Colts GM, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if didn't he retire?
Yeah, but I mean, fucking Gettleman retired and came back as GM for us. So what the hell is the difference?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Bill Polian, but I didn't even know that was a name that was even
yeah, he's out there. But
okay.
I mean, look, you gotta get somebody who's an assistant GM.
Let me ask you this: as far as coach goes, let me ask you this is a name outside the box. This is not a name that I've heard and on any circuit, but like I said, my names are limited, so I can really only go with what I know. And we got a guy that hasn't coached in a while, so I don't even know if it's even an option. How would you feel about Bill Cowher coming back?
Bill Cowher would not leave CBS Sports. He's making too much money over there. Unless you want to use Bill Cowher as a GM, that I can see. As a head coach,
all right.
No.
That's an enticing offer. Yeah, I guess. I don't know about GM though. I want somebody with experience.
Look, the biggest prize out there right now is Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh, you know what? I don't know why I didn't.
That's the only one.
We've talked about this.
I don't want anybody's talking Brian Flores, and look, I'm not gonna. And I just said Louis Riddick, who's an African American, so don't say I'm racist for saying this. I don't want Brian Flores nowhere near this fucking team. I don't want no. And here's why. And I'm not saying Brian Flores in general. I don't want no more Bill Belichick.
I understand that
stink on this team anymore.
You said this. You said this before we went on.
Flores, I don't want Josh McDaniels. I don't want anybody from New England. And Jawan, he said it the other day. Take fucking Nate Solder. I'll be more than happy to give you him. Okay.
No, I know you said that off camera.
Any fucking New England Patriots get offered my fucking team.
You did say that off camera before we went on. You don't want anybody anymore from that New England system, and I agree. I agree with you because that experience has failed.
Everybody talks about the Bill Parcells tree with Coughlin and Belichick, but that Belichick tree, my God, head coaching wise, they suck. I mean, look, I know Brian Flores did what he could. The owner there is an idiot. He likes going to coaches like, every 2 years type deal. But for some reason, with the Belichick tree, I just get rid of it.
I mean, you had people that were that wanted Flores to get Coach of the Year last year. I mean, what he did with the Miami organization the last 2 years. Now, granted, they didn't make the playoffs, but it's a little hard to do when you got teams like New England and Buffalo ahead of you.
Exactly.
But and so in all fairness to Brian Flores, but Ross that's how he is.
Honestly, if you go for Jim Harbaugh, he might be able to fix Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
He he fixed. I told you he fixed Alex Smith in San Francisco before getting Kaepernick.
Would you welcome anyone from the Nick Saban tree?
No, because then there's still the Belichick influence on that as well. And Judge was a Nick Saban guy before being a Belichick guy.
Speaking of which, and you called it, my friend. We both were going for Georgia, but you called it. You said Georgia national champions, and they won convincingly over Alabama.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying Nick Saban's a bad coach, but
no, of course not.
What I'm saying is that there's got to be something. I don't want nothing involved with New England, Saban, Belichick. Get a head coach that can coach this team. And the name was already mentioned, Brian Gates from the offensive coordinator from Buffalo.
What about Bieniemy? Would you want Bieniemy the head coach here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If he wants to take it, I mean, like I said, I think he's being very loyal to the Hunt family and being very patient, because I don't think he wants to leave Patrick Mahomes there on a lurch and being, sometimes when you have a quarterback, if he loses his offensive coordinator, he loses a little bit of himself too under a new system. Look what happened to Eli. Eli was under Kevin Gilbride and Coughlin. As soon as they switched up things, Eli really just didn't look the same.
What do you want more? And this will be the last question. Well, what do you want more from a head coach? Do you want a defensive-minded head coach or an offensive-minded head coach?
I'm always the theory of the defensive-minded.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
I don't like offensive coordinators as head coaches for one reason. They overmind the offensive coordinator.
No, I agree with you.
Because if the offensive coordinator is going to call in plays, and then the coach who's an offensive coordinator goes, "No, I don't want this play. I want this play." Then why the hell do you have an offensive coordinator?
The identity of the Giants has always been the defense, in my mind. We said ground and pound, which is also true, but the identity of the Giants has always been defense. And although the defense has looked okay or decent or even above average in certain games in the last couple of seasons that we've been watching, its pass rush has been little to none.
Yep.
And the secondary, even though they bolstered it, is one of the main things they focused on, with the exception of Galladay, was their secondary. And how many points? I mean, how many games did they, again, also too, their offense wasn't able to put up the amount of points that they were giving up. But I think that that's the identity the Giants need to go back to, is that punishing defense, and we can say what we want about Eli Manning, and he did lead us to 2 Super Bowls, but that first Super Bowl was mostly defense as well. So, I would like to get back to that identity, and I'm hoping whatever head coach they decide to do or decide to get, is defensive minded, but also
you gotta remember too, a lot of things changed since those days. Now it's a pass friendly, your quarterback has to throw 400 yards a game.
Now, you have a fan. You have a fan, Mike, when they notice the item of clothing that you wear. And you finally change your shirt.
2 seconds. Be right back.
All right, hurry up. Yeah, when it's a good day when Mike changes his shirt. Things are good. I do know, though, for a fact, for our listeners or viewers, because I do the same thing. So this hoodie, the minute I log off, the minute I shut down my computer, this comes off and I change my shirt. So most of the things I wear on my streams. So if you ever see me wearing the same shirt,
let me explain something real quick.
I think you're going to say the exact same thing I did.
And this is what I do. Under the shirt is a tank top.
I know. I just said the same thing.
So I take the shirt off right after streams, whether I do the wrestling shows with James.
I know.
Or you. The shirt comes right off, and I put on a tank top.
I just said that.
So basically, I'm wearing the shirt for at least 1 hour, and that's it.
Yeah.
And also, the wife did laundry yesterday, so she tossed me a new shirt anyway. So that's why.
I got you. Well, now that we know your laundry schedule, and whatever, my Buffalo, so last what was it, Monday, where I wore the Buffalo Bills hoodie. So yeah, I like to change it up. you know. I do like to change it up. I have several different t-shirts, several different hoodies. I got a Bears hoodie, I got a Buffalo hoodie. I was gifted a Packers hoodie that's Star Wars for Christmas. So I wore that a couple of times. I do like to change it up, but like Mike said, and that was that's the thing too. If you ever see me wearing multiple in multiple streams, the same thing. I wear this for the stream and then that's it. So I don't like
Yeah.
to get it sweaty. I don't like to whatever. But all right, guys, I do want to end the stream now. I want to go get some lunch. I'm starving. Mike, I know you just got a delivery.
You
Thanks.
got you're like 40 minutes over. You said like 10, 15 minutes. That's it.
I know. Well, it's hard when I got a guy that doesn't shut up. And I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. But guys, on Tuesday, I'm going to have a stream probably before then when we're talking about Book of Boba Fett or anything else in between. But on Tuesday,
episode 3 should have dropped today.
I already watched it.
Oh, well, I didn't. So
I watched it at 6 o'clock this morning because I couldn't sleep. On Tuesday, we will be doing our Monday morning quarterback just because of the long wild card weekend. We got the extra game on Monday, so I don't want to miss talking about any of the games. So on Tuesday morning at 11 a.m., we're going to be doing Monday morning quarterback. All right, so guys, look out for that. And really quick, last comment. Listen to Jim. I can't see Russell Wilson ending up in anywhere but New York. Biggest market, happy wife, happy life also, but it's just too much to give up for him. Unless the asking price drops, listen to Jim, which I don't see how or why it would, because then, as the Seattle organization, if you're not going to get a first round pick, 1 or 2 for a guy like Russell Wilson, you got to look elsewhere. As a Giants fan or even in the Giants organization, I do not see them wanting to part ways. Not with.
And Russell could have went to Chicago because Sierra's from Chicago.
Right. They got to address too many.
They could have went to Chicago this year, and they didn't.
They got to address too many needs that they could be using those 2 first-round picks, the 5th and 7th overall in the first round. They can get what they need in those 2 picks alone. So I'm sorry. As much as I love Russell Wilson, as much as I think he'd be a great asset to any team he lands on,
we got a problem with the cap space too, still. So yeah. That's going to be a hard thing to do.
It's another thing that Gettleman left the
he might have got us a lot of draft picks, but he also left us broke.
Russ says he wants to play 20 more years in Seattle. Yeah, I don't think he'll last 20 years now. If not if they don't fix that offensive line, because he'll get killed. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But guys, again, stay tuned next Tuesday for Monday morning quarterback. And anything else upcoming on the stream. Mike, your YouTube channel is in the description in the link. So guys, if you're not subscribed to, and I know these guys are, but if you're watching this, if you're not subscribed to Mike's channel yet,
I don't think Listener Jim is.
Oh, listen to Jim. I don't know if you're a subscriber, take a look. Go on his channel.
I don't think he's a wrestling fan. Craig is a wrestling fan. He comes out over.
Hey, it's not for everybody. Although your channel is Mic'd Up Sports, but you seem to be you generally just talk about wrestling.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. Well, we can't do Mets talk because there's nothing going on in Metsville.
Guess what? Last night, let me ask you this. And this is just, dude, I want to get the fuck off of here. I really do.
Shut up.
But last night, what did you say? You just said 20 minutes ago, you said, I was ready to go. I would have fired up the laptop because I told you I wasn't feeling well last night, right? What was stopping you from going on your channel and doing a quick 3-minute breaking news about Joe Judge getting fired?
Loyalty to you, sir.
What?
Loyalty to you.
It's not loyalty to me.
The football show is you. I don't mind. Look, I came in. I literally ruined the batter's box.
Oh, you got a subscriber, buddy.
I like that. Thank you, Jim.
I think that makes it even 40 now, right? That puts you to 40.
Yeah, because somebody subscribed the other day. I don't know who the hell it was, but somebody subscribed.
Yeah, I don't always get notifications when people subscribe. It's weird.
But here's the thing, and I'm going to say this. I feel like doing Mets talk, I took batter's box away from you.
No, I do. Honestly, I just towards the end of the year, I just didn't give a shit about the Mets anymore. And I didn't want to talk about it. It's simple as that.
I do let's just even say I do a show once a week called Big Blue Discussion. I feel like I'm taking Monday morning quarterback or all out blitz away from you.
No, first of all, you should call it Big Blue Balls. That's number one. I would go Big Blue Balls.
No, YouTube would not allow that.
Name the segment that. I guarantee you'll get a lot of views. But my point is It doesn't take anything away, dude. Mets talk didn't take anything away from batter's box. I simply didn't want to talk about the Mets because of what they were putting on the field. I didn't give a
I'm
shit.
afraid now, like for next. All right, let's just say, and then we got to end this.
Did Mike actually last longer than AB?
Yes, I do.
Yes. I mean, Crayon.
Hey, look, I dated girls with magic mouths. I last more than 30 seconds with a girl with a magic
mouth.
Well,
31 seconds actually lasts longer than AB. So, I mean, it's not saying much.
Well, no. You know what? I'm like Ric Flair, baby. I'm a 60-minute man. I'm Space Mountain. Oldest ride, longest ride. Okay.
Let me tell you something.
I'm sorry, oldest ride, longest line.
Let me tell you something. And this is going way too far. But no girl wants to hear a guy is a 60-minute man when it comes to fellatio. No girl wants to suck a dick for 60 minutes.
Oh, no. I do 20. That's it.
So don't advertise you're a 60-minute man. I don't think they want to do 20 minutes.
I go 20. That's it.
If it's taking you 20 minutes during that, there's a problem there, buddy. Hold on. Mike, I'm old enough. I love the Wilbur Snyder talk, Dick the Bruiser, Jimmy Valiant talk. All right.
Oh, way old school.
All right. So there you go. It answers your question. Again, I don't know what the hell is going on here because I'm not a wrestling fan anymore. I haven't been a wrestling fan since the Hogan had his own cartoon. So.
Oh, by the way, which I got YouTube tagged for that one. Well, we do have that old school episode that you came in on with me and James.
Remember when I came on that?
Yeah.
Remember? All right, guys.
You fell asleep like an hour in.
Oh God!
Like, all right, get off my fucking show.
Yeah. All right, guys. I will see you.
Can we wrap this up, please?
Enjoy that's what she said. Enjoy the upcoming weekend, guys. And again, like I said, look out for my Book of Boba Fett spoiler review for episode 3 at sometime probably this weekend. Mike, I'm hoping you'll be a part of that. So that's why I'm actually gonna have it this weekend. I was gonna try to do it tomorrow, but if you gotta wait for the weekend, I'll try to stall for you, buddy.
I can do Friday.
That's what she said. All right. So maybe we'll do it for Friday. All right, guys. Everybody enjoy your day. Mike, thank you for coming on. And like I said, you got a new subscriber. And hopefully, anybody watching this that's not Crayon Dude to listen to Jim, if you can, and not a bot that I had to block, like the stream if you can. Give it a thumbs up. It helps out the channel, but also subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel. Talking about Mike's channel, subscribe to mine. I'm the guy. All right, guys. Let's go, Giants.
You're the guy that created this guy.
Let's go, Big Blue. I'll see everybody later.